Hey everyone, so this is Tim at Stammer.ai, and what we are going to be covering in this video is the custom domain and white labeling functionality of Stammer, how you can deploy Stammer to your own custom domain very quickly in order to deploy your own AI automation agency, your own SaaS. Now let's get started with this. So most people deploy to a domain that is like app.theirdomain.com. And I just so happen to have ready to go this fresh botbuilder.net domain in my Namecheap account. So I'm going to copy that. And what I'm going to actually do is set up an A record to point app.botbuilder.net to Stammer's server. And what I mean by that is I've got the domain copied here, and we're going to put this in. So app.this domain, botbuilder.net. And now let's click next. Okay, so we've told Stammer that we're going to put it on this domain, and it looks like it's already taken actually, but that's fine because I probably deployed this many times in other tutorials. So let's just set it up on another custom domain. And I'm actually glad this happened because I wanted to illustrate the fact that you can really deploy it honestly to any domain or subdomain you want. So let me look in my Namecheap account again. What do we have available here? Well, we can actually do, app4.botbuilder.net, or we could do, AI.botbuilder.net. We can put any subdomain in there that we want. So let's change this actually. And then let's see if I have deployed to ai.botbuilder.net before. Okay, it looks like I have, so that's fine. What we can actually do is change this to app4.botbuilder.net, and hopefully this is not taken already. Let's see, the DNS is not set up here. We don't see a record for that, so this should work properly. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so it accepted that. Now, what do we do next? Well, the next thing we actually need to do is set up the DNS records, right? So we used app4, and here is the IP address we need to point it to. So let's go back into my Namecheap account. Now, keep in mind, your DNS provider may be different, right? But it should be the exact same process. Let us know if you have any issues getting this set up, but the process should be exactly the same. So what I'm going to do is click Add New Record. We're going to do an A record that stands for address record. Now remember, the host I want to use, what is it? Well, in this case, it's app4, right? That is the subdomain I want it to run on. And what is the IP address? Well, it's that value we just copied actually. So I'm going to paste that in there. And then we're actually going to click this green checkbox. And what is happening now is Namecheap has set up in their own DNS servers that this should point, this app4.botbuilder.net domain should point to this IP address here, right? Now, due to the nature of DNS, sometimes it can take a little bit of time for that to propagate, but let's use some cool tools to debug and see if that's propagating. Okay, so the first tool that we are going to use here is MX Toolbox's DNS lookup, and you can just literally throw that into Google and this tool should come up. Now what we're going to type in here is app4.botbuilder. We should have it ready to go. Okay, so I put in the domain app4.botbuilder.net, and let's click on DNS lookup. Okay, and as you can see, this is propagated very quickly to the DNS servers that MX Toolbox uses. So we can now see that app4.botbuilder.net has been pointed to the IP address 165, blah, blah, blah. Now let's go back into Stammer, and we've done this. You can follow these instructions here. We also have this video, of course, that shows you in more detail how to set up those records. Everything looks good to me. And let's click next. Okay, and what's happened here is that the Stammer DNS servers have not yet detected that record. And this is quite common, right? Across the internet, everyone uses different DNS servers. It is a distributed system, one of the original first distributed systems. So it can take a while for the records to propagate throughout the DNS system. Now, if a record hasn't existed already, if there was, because there was nothing set up, right, for app4.botbuilder.net. Usually it's pretty quick. Let's actually click verify DNS and let's see if it has propagated yet. And it did. So you see how quickly DNS records can propagate when the record hasn't existed. So it should be something similar for you, but do not be concerned if it takes a few hours. Now, if it takes any longer than 24 hours, usually that means something's wrong. So you may want to reach out to us, or simply do the lookup here and see if you are getting it pointed to the proper IP address. Now we are good to go. We're actually ready at this point to launch this website live on the internet. So what I'm going to do, of course, is click launch website. Now this process is happening in the background. Some cool technical stuff is going on with our web server. And let's actually click the refresh button here and see if we're getting any updates on this process. Still in progress. Okay, and that did take a couple of seconds, but it looks like it has successfully been set up. So now we should have our own version of Stammer, our own white labeled version of Stammer running on this domain. Let's actually copy this and see what happens. Okay, so let's navigate. And there it is. There is our shiny new version of Stammer that's running on our own custom domain, app4.botbuilder.net. And now what I'm going to do is log in with the exact same username and password that I was using for Stammer. So let me go ahead and actually do that. Okay, and so I was able to log in. And as you can see here in the address bar, this is completely white labeled to my own domain, just like everything else is in here. Now, what I would want to do next, of course, is to start setting up, the white labeling essentially. I would want to replace this with my own logo, my own brand name here, and you can go into the agency area to start populating all that stuff. But this is essentially how it works. So I hope this gives you an idea of how easy it is to set up your own Stammer on your own custom domain and to start white labeling your own AI SaaS. And hopefully you will not have the same problem I have of, your domains having to choose app for, but that's unique to my situation since I've deployed so many of these, obviously through Stammer. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about this at all, do not hesitate to join our Discord and ask there, or you can always open a ticket through our support system by clicking right here, this green help box, and then follow the instructions there. Thank you very much for watching this video, and let us know if you have any questions.